What's up, world, and welcome to season 2 of Mix in Chat. I'm your boy Javi, here with my boy D-Lo.
Yo, what's up?
Now let's get into it. Alright, y'all. So we have been on a 2-week break after the finale of season 1. We have just been recuperating, getting our fresh shoes on, and getting ready to hit the ground running. D-Lo, how has your last 2 weeks been? This 2-week vacation you had away from podcasting.
Well, I wish I could say it was good.
Oh shit! What happened?
It's just the whole job search, man. It's just been getting. It's been getting to me. Not even gonna lie. I'm glad we're finally back recording. No, finally glad.
Yes.
But yeah, between DoorDash and this whole job search thing, because DoorDash ain't cutting it no more. I mean, it's kind of gone up for me a little bit, but it's still kind of, I don't know, man. Like I was working on that 90%, I got to 87, and then 2 days, I'm back down to an 80.
I'm scared to look at the app right now because I don't know what tier I'm in anymore because I never reached that 100 deliveries.
Well, as long as you kept up with your 70%, then you should be at least gold.
Okay, period. I can handle gold. I'll get 100 or try. But if not, it's not a big deal for me. I can still go out and DoorDash. But other than DoorDashing and job hunting, everything else been pretty good though?
Yeah. Just kind of trying to get things together. Just doing the best we can with what we got.
I know that's right. So, like we always do, what's your level coming into this podcast today? Where you at?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of at a 6 today, just because I've been in my feelings about the whole job search thing. But I'm gonna bring it up for the podcast.
Oh yeah,
The show must go on.
Yeah, the podcast is definitely gonna bring it up because we got so much juice. So much has happened.
Oh, I know.
Oh my god. But my last 2 weeks have been pretty good. I've had some ups and some downs. I've like y'all already knew, I had started the new job with the hospital and I'm enjoying it. I'm learning so much. I'm being pushed and pulled every which direction, and I went into this job with a different mentality than I went into all the other jobs, because this job, they teach you every position, so you go in there and you don't know where you're going to be. So I just go in there, and a lot of the people that work there, they're really pissed off because they're like, oh, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be in this position, I don't want to be in that position. And they're like, how you feel? And I'm like, I got a job,
right?
I'm gonna do what they asked me to do. I'm gonna do my 12 or my 8, and I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not mad about it. I'm getting paid. They gonna pay me. So, and I also got some good news. They had like big wigs come in from the company this week, and yesterday I was monitored. So the lady went around to like 8 to 10 rooms with me and just listened to me give the briefing. Well, not really the briefing, but pretty much script of what I needed to say to the patients when I'm taking their orders. And then after she had left, she told me that I did really good, that I had a really good script, and that she could feel the warmth when I talked to people. Even though she wasn't in the room, she could feel that I was warm-hearted and I allowed people to just like be warm and bring excitement to them and make them happy. I was like, yeah, I love people. That's what I do.
Right.
And so she had left, and I had finished my floors, and I went back downstairs, and the manager pulled me inside and was like, hey, she came in here and made it a point to let me know that you were excellent. And I was like, I know, period. That's how it is. But everything's going really good. As far as the house goes, we're still working to getting that. And coming into today, I would say I'm at a level 8. I'm gonna say 8 because I have a headache that I've had
Actually,
for 3 days.
I actually developed a headache this morning.
I've had this headache for 3 days, and it's in the top right side of my head. And I keep taking aspirin, but not like overly doing it. But I keep having to take aspirin to get it. So hopefully it'll subside in the stress. I don't know if it's stress related I don't know where the stress is coming from, but I just hope it subsides.
Um, I know one thing that helped me because sometimes because I think mine's like kind of in the same spot. Mine's towards the back a little bit. It
Mm.
kind of radiates to my eye.
Mm.
So
You got a migraine.
I know. Um, but sometimes I've noticed that, and most people say that you shouldn't take Excedrin migraine unless you have a migraine because it will end up giving you a migraine.
Damn. No, I'm
But
taking aspirin.
there's some like sometimes I've noticed that when like aspirin and Tylenol don't work, to take one Excedrin migraine and it clears it
Oh,
up.
got you. Well, I haven't taken an aspirin today, but that's the only reason I'm at an 8 because that headache is taking 2 points off of me today. And then my back is better. I
That's
had
good.
tweaked my back, and I don't know if the audience knew, but I tweaked my back, and it was really bad. Like I had excruciating pain. It was spasming like
Mm,
crazy, and it shot me out off the couch onto the floor. I had to roll over, like working through the spasms to get to where my knees were on the floor and my torso and my stomach was laying on the couch. And I had to call my mom. I had to call Trey, like, I need to go to the emergency room now. So I got there, they gave me some muscle relaxers. I went home, they brought me home with some muscle relaxers. And no, I'm not abusing them. I barely use them because I don't like to take medicine like that. But I have used them when I needed to, but it's getting better. So
that's
like
good.
I'm starting to get like normal movement back. I'm not stiff with it no more,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Back spasms is no joke. I get those every once in a while, and they're no joke at
Yeah,
all.
it wore me out. But some you were saying something about the playoffs and how when we had the final episode of season one that the playoffs were in the second round of games and going
Yes.
into the third, but now they're in the finals.
Yes. So I think the last time we talked, so it was, and I'm kind of trying to rethink.
My question is, how many games, how many teams are in the finals?
Two.
Two.
Yeah, we're
So,
down to the
oh, we're
final two.
down to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
final
we're
two.
yeah,
Okay, y'all. So when we come
yeah.
back in just a second, he's gonna give y'all the rundown on the final two teams and how they got to that point, and then we're gonna touch deep on the P Diddy case. The P Diddy case has rocked the nation. It is the talk of the century, besides the Donald Trump case, which we will touch on a little bit as well. But the P Diddy case is one that you all are not gonna want to miss. So get your popcorn, get your coffee, get your wine, get your fruit bowl like I got, and have a seat. And stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, y'all. So welcome back, and I'm gonna flip it over to D'Lo so he can tell us about these NBA playoffs. What's going on?
All right, so I'm gonna give the rundown. We'll get into the deeper talk later on.
Okay.
So, basically, last time, like you said, we was in this conference semifinals.
Yeah.
So, which is technically the second round for
Yeah.
those that don't know. Um, the Celtics overcame the Cavaliers
Oh.
4-1. So it was a gentleman's sweep, as I said last time. 4-1. A gentleman's sweep is when the other team wins one game out of the seven. Um,
Lord.
then the Pacers overcame the Knicks. It was 4-3. It was a little closer,
Yeah.
but the Knicks had a star player go down, so and they couldn't overcome that. In the West, we had the Thunder and the Mavs. Mavs won. Mavericks won 4-2, which kind of was expected a little bit just because the Thunder's a younger team. And then the one that I was really surprised about was the Timberwolves and the Nuggets.
Mm.
And the Timberwolves overcame the Nuggets 4-3.
Oh, so the Timberwolves did it.
Yeah.
Okay. They got big win then.
So, and then you get down to the conference finals, which the Celtics swept the Pacers, which is 4-0. So
Wow.
yeah, Celtics is on a roll. So I really think it's gonna be their year.
You said the Celtics is on a roll. They were
they-
rolling people up out of this competition.
Yeah.
Good night.
Well, and there's a lot of talk, which we'll come back to that little talk here in a second. And then in the West, you had the Mavs and the Timberwolves.
Okay.
And the Mavs did a gentleman sweep 4-1. Now the finals, which starts Thursday,
Who we down to?
is the Mavs and the Celtics.
So it starts the day that this recording comes out.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Oh my god. So y'all need to listen to us in the morning.
So they there's been some talks about who's going to win. I honestly think that it's going to end up coming down to the Celtics winning this year because they just have a better defense. Throughout NBA history, it's whoever has the best player on the floor, which I don't think it's going to come down to that because there's so much on each team. Like you have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on the Celtics, who been steamrolling, and then you have Luka and Kyrie.
Okay.
And then their supporting cast.
So you have two teams that have players that are from both teams that are going to the Olympics. Playing against each other.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then so the thing is, like I said, it's going to come down to the minute details on who's going to win on this one. Me personally, I think with the, like I've said in the previous episode, where I think the Celtics has a better defense with the addition of Drew Holiday, but the Mavericks has a better coach with Jason Kidd.
Okay.
But when you have 4 guys that can defend, or when you have 5 guys that can defend 4 positions, that's going to come down to it. And like you can throw waves at Kyrie, you can throw waves at Luka and tire him down.
Yeah. So who did you say our two teams were that were going into
the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics?
The Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. And the game is tomorrow. Well, yeah. It's the day that y'all are listening to this, but it's tomorrow to us because we recorded the day before.
And if the Boston Celtics win, I do believe that will put Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum as the youngest players to win an NBA championship.
Oh.
And the youngest duo to win a championship. So
they're trying to break barriers.
But the other barrier that's been broken with this is the first time since 1975 that 2 black coaches have been in the NBA Finals going against each other.
Come on, chocolate! Y'all better eat. Come on. That sound. Come on, chocolate.
So it's gonna be a good series. I don't think one's gonna sweep the other. I honestly, it can go 6-7 games. It really could.
Dang. I hope not.
So, I mean, I like to see it. I like to see it be a good series. That's what I'm expecting. I mean, you got Cha who's rooting for the Celtics, and then
y'all got a little family rivalry going on.
Yeah, big family rivalry going on, and
so
then
y'all gonna be in each other's faces like told you.
I'm gonna be sitting back with my popcorn because, like I said, I think the Celtics is gonna win just off defense. But Tamara's cousin, he is a Luka fan, so
see.
But yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I can't wait.
Right. Well, in other news, on May the 25th, Nicki Minaj was going over to do a tour, like on her tour, and she got arrested in Amsterdam for having pre-rolled weed, like rolls, in her luggage. Like, there was a video that showed on X, formerly Twitter, which, speaking of Twitter, not to sidetrack from this, but Elon Musk also put out a message on X asking if he should change the name back to Twitter, which most people said yes, because we still call it Twitter anyways.
Yeah.
Like, X,
I don't know why you changed the name anyways.
Like, just call it Twitter X. Put them both together. Anyways, she got arrested, and as she was getting arrested, they had already checked her luggage to put it on the plane.
Right.
So then they said they had to take it off to thoroughly check it all because they believed that she had more on her luggage. I mean, in her luggage. So after like putting her into the paddy wagon, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like I watched the video and they
I,
literally
I
opened
actually
the
did
side
too.
door
Yeah.
and there was like plexiglass you had to open to get, and she had to sit in that, and then they closed the plexiglass,
Yeah.
and then they closed the door of the van that she was in.
Yep.
And I'm like, I would have felt like I was in a psych ward or going, I would have went crazy. But she ended up being released, and her bodyguard actually took possession of was actually the one who possessed the pre-rolls. They were his, and he admitted it to being his. But she was also fined for that.
Yeah.
And she ended up having to cancel a show, or she was late to a show.
I think she was late to the
And
show, actually.
she was in a hotel room, and she was telling all her fans to come down. She's about to come downstairs, so she came outside the hotel and was greeting her fans and saying that she was sorry about what was going on, but she can't wait to make it up to them. And yeah, which that only goes into the main topic, because I feel like that the whole like rap world right now is kind of being put under a microscope.
Oh, you have no idea.
A magnifying glass. And this magnifying glass is also angled at the sun, and it's burning these motherfuckers alive. I'm telling you.
Oh, I know.
So now, when we come back, we're going to get into the main topic of it all, which is the P. Diddy case. See you in a second. All right, y'all. So welcome back. And now it's time to dive deep into the top topic of the podcast episode. And that is the P. Diddy case. So, if you don't know about the P. Diddy case, then you're living under a rock. But we're going to let you know about it anyways. P. Diddy has been accused of SA. What else?
ST.
Also, he's been accused of having weapons. He's been accused of being in the possession of videos and audio content to blackmail other high-class celebrities into doing what he wants them to do. Drugging, and the R-wording women and men and boys and girls. His son has also been accused of the same thing, and I actually think his son's in jail. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either.
I'll have to do some more research on that, but this main topic today is P. Diddy. So, over the last couple of weeks that we've been away, a video has surfaced of a day or night in 2016 where his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who recently sued him, and it was settled outside of court for millions of dollars, an undisclosed amount, but we know it's millions of dollars. First, CNN releases the video, okay? It was CNN that released the video. And it shows Cassie Ventura walking with her bags briskly, honey. She was moving to get to the elevator. She gets to the elevator. She sits her stuff down. She presses the button. She goes to pick her stuff up. And Diddy comes flying around the corner, grabs her by the back of her neck. She has a hoodie on. He grabs her by the back of her neck, which I think his hand slipped from her neck and just had the hoodie, and he throws her to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He then picks up one of her items off the floor and turns around and kicks her. He didn't get a good kick, so when he turned back around and picked up more of her stuff and proceeded to walk back away from her, he like stomps on her leg. And then she grabs her leg. Like when he threw her down the first time, she just kind of laid there. Like she was like limp.
Yeah.
And then when he kicked her the second time, she grabbed her leg. So he walks and turns the corner away from camera view, and then turns back around and grabs her by her hoodie and proceeds to drag her back to the room. Well, he gets her about, I would say, 3 feet and lets her go. And then she sits up and turns back and looks at him. And it looks like she says, "What's your problem?" But we don't know what she's saying. But this video comes out and it's got the world in a chokehold. What did you think about the video? I was like, oh my god, I knew it. I knew something happened.
Oh, I knew. Like, I knew something happened. Um, to go to that magnitude of what it was shocking.
Yeah,
Actually, I mean, I can't even find the words for it.
it was
Like it,
disgusting.
yeah. Like it just, and that's what I'm saying. Like it was so disgusting. Like I can't even find the words on how I actually feel about it because
Right.
it just, um, there's been some people would be like, "Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know it was like that," and it was like, well, why not? Like it throughout this whole thing. What makes you think that that man wasn't capable of doing anything like that? Because he was a billionaire mogul, a big eye in hip hop.
I'm telling you.
Like why?
My whole thing is from the looks of that video, when I watched that video, I could tell that he was so comfortable mistreating her like that that you had no choice but to say in your mind, oh my god, he's done this so much more before
And
that.
actually, it's yeah. And there's been people that's came out now that there was a girlfriend he had in college
Hmm.
that's came out and said that he did that to her.
There's 4 other women that have came forward with lawsuits claiming that Diddy did things to them. 4 other women that I know of. It even goes back as far as like people coming forward and saying that he did that to Kim Porter, which is the wife of the
Four of
mother of
his
his
kids,
children,
yeah.
and saying that Kim Porter and Cassie were actually kind of like messing with Diddy at the same time,
Yeah.
and he would force them to do things together,
Mm-hmm.
and then Kim Porter like warned Cassie before she got too deep into it, like, I don't think you want this lifestyle, and Cassie didn't listen to it. So it was
Yeah.
like, my question is, was Diddy bringing Cassie in to replace Kim because he was trying to get rid of her? Like, cause let's be logical. Like, these people have power
Well, that and
to
then
make moves happen.
I mean, when you do the things that Diddy has done, you kind of almost got to keep it moving
Yeah.
to where if people start to know too much, you got to keep it moving so they don't do this stuff to you. They
Yeah.
don't turn around on you.
Speaking of, you move the way that people want you to move. There's been allegations that Diddy has videos and audio recordings of his parties and
Mm-hmm.
people that have been in his house because he had cameras in every room and audio equipment in every room.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have been mentioned as far as like he's got this on them, he's got this on them, but it's never been told exactly what it is that he has on them. 2 of the people that have been mentioned are Jay-Z, which I don't know, and Beyonce, which I'm like, oh no, not my girl, no, yeah. But Jaguar Wright, who was in the music industry a long time ago. She was a singer songwriter.
Yeah.
She wrote songs and was on vocals for many of artists. She came forward and was like, when Diddy goes down, everybody's going down with him. It
Yep.
started with R. Kelly, then it went to Diddy, and now she's claiming that it's going to be Jay-Z and Beyonce. She doesn't trust Beyonce. She thinks Beyonce's a witch. She said
Yeah.
Beyonce killed.
I've heard her.
Yeah, I think you believe that too.
Yeah. No, I don't believe that.
She's a siren.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Beyonce's a siren, y'all. She knows how to get you to feel her music. And she knows how to sing to make you like mesmerized by what she's doing. But there has been an apology put out by Diddy, which I found total bullshit.
Yeah.
It was so vague. It was like he was apologizing for getting caught, but he wasn't apologizing for doing it. Is kind of what I took out of it.
Well, that and he didn't mention no names. Like he wasn't apologizing for that. He
was apologizing for being caught.
Yeah.
He was like, I've learned my lesson. I've grown. I'm trying to be a better man than I was. Like, you're apologizing to the masses for us seeing that video.
Yeah.
you're not apologizing to the victims that was in that video or the victims that have been with you outside of that video.
Yeah, and because there's been a bodyguard who's been talking a lot.
Oh yeah, Diddy's bodyguard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and he even
and
said,
one of his producers.
yeah, and he even said that when he watched the video, when he goes and picks when she goes and picks up that phone, that goes directly to security.
Oh,
And he said that he was actually wasn't shocked that nobody came to help her because he already paid off security,
oh yeah.
and he paid security $50,000 for that video.
Oh, but CNN got a hold of that baby.
Yeah, so
CNN got a hold of it, baby.
yeah, so yeah, and which brings up the Jay-Z thing. Apparently, Ice Cube has came out and said that he has um, evidence of some things that Jay-Z's been doing, and that's going to be released after P. Diddy gets handled.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why is everybody coming after Jay-Z? What did Jay-Z? I want to know what Jay-Z did.
Well, you gotta,
And it's-
you gotta think. So Jay-Z and P. Diddy have been close since the early '90s
I
at the start of their
know.
careers. So there's a lot going on there, and you want to tell me them two rise up together?
I just hope Beyonce ain't got nothing to do with it.
It's kind of one of those things they're going to be guilty by association.
I mean, I know, and I hope that Beyonce ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, I hope her name is clean. It's just her husband's real big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's still going to be one of those things.
And
like,
maybe that'll start bringing shit together as far as like Beyonce at the basketball games being like so tuned out and so zoned out and like rocking and shit, or a whole lot of shit goes down when it's $1 billion on the elevator. When Miss Solange Knowles handled Jay-Z in that elevator. Oh my god, I'm so, my brain is farted because I just hope Beyonce ain't in trouble.
There's also too something that I seen, and this was actually before his death. DMX came out and said that he had theories on how P. Diddy was behind a lot of the rappers' death. He had reasons to believe that Diddy was behind a lot of the mysterious rappers' deaths.
Like at this point, and my thing is, before this video came out, Diddy was very much like, none of this is real. Everything is fabricated and a lie. And then
It's a
Cassie
witch
says
hunt.
says her piece, and then he pays her off. And then it dies down a little bit after he paid her off. It didn't die down really, but it died down a little bit, enough to where it wasn't like every swipe I seen something about Diddy. And then it was like, bam, here's the video, and then he's like, I'm so sorry about what.
Well, you can
y'all
thank
seen.
the producer for that, Lil Rodney.
Yeah, Little Rock.
He was
yeah.
the one that blew. He was the one that blew the whole doors open on a lot of things.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And he was the reason why they went and raided his home, because of some of the things he was bringing up.
And they came out of there with boxes.
Yeah.
They had box upon box. And if you didn't know, they didn't just raid 2 homes. They raided 3.
Yeah.
They raided one in California. They raided one in Miami. And they raided one in New York.
Yeah, they SWAT team that stuff.
But they didn't post the one that they raided in New York.
Yeah.
And it was told that the SWAT team didn't know whose house they were going after.
Yeah.
And I feel like the reason that was is because, hell, he might have some of the SWAT team on his payroll.
Yeah. And honestly, because like bring up the whole Biggie situation.
This shit's gonna go deep, y'all.
Yeah, because think about it. So, was it a coincidence that when Tupac went to go visit Biggie at the studio, because Biggie and Tupac were close. They were real close until the night Tupac went to go visit him at the studio, and then he got robbed at the studio and claimed that Biggie had something to do with it. That started the whole East Coast West Coast thing.
It was Diddy.
And yeah.
Diddy did it.
So yeah, I actually believe that P
I don't know
Diddy
why I
had him
whispered.
set him up to get robbed to
He
start
needed
this
both
whole
of them out
thing.
of the way.
Yeah,
He needed both of them out of the way.
because what some people don't know was actually Biggie hired lawyers to sue Diddy for the rights to his music, his production rights, because he
Oh,
was going to make his exit out of Big Boy or Bad Boy because he thought that Bad Boy wasn't doing anything,
wow.
and
Ooh.
so um, there was and then of course I think Shook and um, Diddy had something to do with Pac's death,
They
and
he had
then
something to do with both of their deaths.
and then it was it. I mean, do you honestly think that you would have took somebody that had a well-known beef with the whole state to that state, and then to go take him to an after party,
Shit don't add up.
and then Mace came out and said the night that Biggie died, he was locked in his room and couldn't get out because there were 70 Bloods in the hallway.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, we about to start to see a lot unfold with these rap men and these rap girlies. A lot of stuff is about to be the wool is being pulled away from our eyes on
But
them.
honestly, something tells me that if Diddy does go down with this, I don't wish this on anybody.
A lot of people going down with him.
I don't think so. I think that he's gonna end up not being around no more. If you know what I mean?
Oh, you think somebody's going
Yeah,
before
because
he?
because he's gonna be. It's gonna be to the point to where like
You think somebody's going to unalive his me?
yeah, because it's gonna be one of those things that they're gonna be like, we're gonna take you out before you take us out
Facts.
because you know way too much.
Facts. But speaking of Diddy and his apology, if you go to the comments in his apology, Shaka Khan's daughter has some shit to say. Saying that I'm so happy, I'm so excited that he is getting exactly what he deserves because he disrespected my mom and I'm just sitting back and eating the popcorn watching it unfold at this point. She does not like Diddy. She said her mom had an interaction with him and he was disrespectful to her, and then her brother tried to defend her mom and his bodyguards jumped her brother. So she has no remorse. She pretty much is like, we need to make this into a Lifetime movie because I'm watching it on stream. She is disgusted by P. Diddy.
Well, that I mean, this is coming. This is about somebody who disrespected their own mom.
Facts.
I
Facts.
mean,
He has no respect for
yeah,
anybody.
but the co-owner to Bad Boy said that he watched him slap his own mom, and that's when he tore into him on that.
Damn.
Like,
See,
you gonna slap your own mom? I couldn't even imagine. Like, I raised my voice to my mom. I yelled at my mom. Would never have thought of putting hands on my mom.
damn.
Never.
Well, on the flip side of all this, a lot of people are actually responding to Cassie Ventura now, as far as her allegations that she had, her selling outside of court, and then seeing the video footage and P. Diddy's apology. People are flooding to her saying, like, we support you, we stand behind you, we're so sorry you went through that. So she put out a thank you letter or a thank you statement addressing her fans and the world in general, as far as the people that reached out to her and showed in support and love for her. Her husband said, "A real man doesn't hit a woman."
Yeah, facts.
Cassie Ventura's lawyer says that this is only the door opening. There's going to be so much more that comes out of this.
Oh yeah, this ain't done.
On May 21st, model Crystal McKinney filed a lawsuit claiming Diddy drugged and forced himself on her in 2003. She claims she met him at a fashion week in New York City. He invited her to his studio. She took he where they were doing drugs and drinking and smoking weed, and she says she took one hit off of his lace joint that she didn't know was laced. Then Diddy convinced her into the bathroom where he essayed her.
Mm.
Um, other than that, other things that I know is 50 Cent's got a lot to say about Diddy. He is an internet gangster when I tell you. When it comes to Diddy, he is on top of it. I don't know
Mhm.
if you know it, but there's been allegations or it's something in one of the documents of Diddy's case that says that 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend or ex-wife was fucking on Diddy. Like
Mm.
she was one of his paid girls.
Well,
Yeah, one of his paid ST girls. So she was on payroll. He was giving her allowance to come over and do the business. Yeah.
mm.
But 50 Cent posted on IG saying, with all the coming lawsuits, he's afraid Diddy may try to unalive himself. He's saying that it will be his last post about the rapper. So he's done talking about Diddy because he feels like it's getting so intense that he thinks that Diddy might get to the point of where he will unalive himself.
Yeah.
It won't come down to somebody else doing it before it gets leaked. He'll do it himself. And then Diddy's ex bodyguard, which we were just talking about, Gene Deals is his
Yeah,
name.
Gene.
Claims he heard Diddy contemplating unaliving himself in a recent time because of all of the unfolding in the lawsuit. So he's actually been with Diddy, like close to Diddy in recent times, like as far as like within the last year or two.
Yeah.
And heard him speaking to either himself or out loud or in the privacy of his own space about unaliving himself. So you might be right. It might be a situation where he himself or somebody him. And I'm making fart noises, yes. Because I don't want to say it, but there is so much going on.
Oh, and also
I'm
too,
scared to see what unfolds behind Diddy.
there's also too somebody that came out that has been in prison for the shooting at the Trump Hotel.
And he's kind of cute. He's kind of fun.
He
And I'm not even gonna give it.
his name is Jonathan Odie. He just came out and said that he was actually one of the male prostitutes.
Yes.
That he would have relations with Cassie as P. Diddy watched.
He would, and he said he went on to say that he had relations with Cassie and P Diddy.
Yeah.
And he's been screaming this since the whole shooting at the Trump Towers, years before this has started to pop off.
Yeah.
Like that interview that we're watching happened a long time ago.
Yeah. And it's just now getting out.
And it's just now resurfacing because now it's relevant to what's going on.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to hear him back then. They all thought he was crazy. Just like Orlando Bloom. They think he's crazy. Come to find out, that man is so fucking smart. He's acting crazy because he's got... If he don't, somebody's gonna unalive him from all the stuff that he's went through and he's seen. He said that Diddy's done stuff.
It's just hard to decipher what's the truth and what is
you
the
just
crazy.
You just gotta really analyze it. What I've done is I've watched multiple interviews that he's done, and I listen to the stuff that he repeats. If it's a situation that he says something serious and he repeats it, then that's the stuff that he's trying to tell you. And then the stuff where he goes off and banters about, like, then you disregard that because now
there's
he's
some
just
of the things that
he's putting fluff on it so it doesn't seem real, but it's actually real.
Well, there's some things that he's like talking about that I feel like that's hidden with the truth because he goes into it crazy to where people think that he's going crazy.
Yeah,
and then he starts weaving that little truth out.
Yeah,
in that craziness. It's
but
so
he has
weird.
to do that because of the people that's watching and listening to him. And it's the same thing with Jaguar Wright. It's the same thing with Cat Williams. They have to speak it a certain way to where if somebody's watching them, it makes them look crazy and they don't stay in tune with it
Yeah,
and
but
they turn it off.
I'm not necessarily sure that Cat Williams is saying the whole truth about his part either.
There's always two sides to the story and the truth.
Mm-hmm.
There's always two sides to every
He
story
might
and the
not
truth.
be protecting his little virgin hole, as he puts it.
Oh God. Oh God. Not the virgin hole. Oh my God.
So,
But that's all I have on the Diddy case.
yeah, it's crazy, man. It's wild.
But I will tell y'all this. There's gonna be so much more that pops up about Diddy. And we are definitely gonna keep y'all informed like we always have. But I want to flip it over a little bit for the last couple of minutes of the time we got left and talk about the Trump case. And how that wrapped. And his 34 guilties.
And we gonna get deeper into this on another episode.
Yeah, we gonna get deep into this because he's got so many more trials left.
Like, yeah, and it's got some questions that's being brought up with me.
Questions? Speak. We got time. Don't. We ain't wrapped. We're not ending it yet.
As you know, he's been convicted of 34 felonies.
Yeah. So how in the hell is he still in the running to become president?
Exactly.
Because you can't be a felon and be president.
Exactly. There's felons that can't even get a job.
Period.
Let alone run the damn country.
So, and was it you that said it to me? But like, now they're going to have to rewrite every rule about a felon. If he becomes president, they're going to have to take felon off of everything. Because felons should be able to apply for any job in America if we're going to have a felon as a president or a presidential candidate.
Exactly.
But Donald Jr. took to Twitter saying that it was blasphemy. And this is just the start of the whole undoing of America. And
of course.
Then on May the 31st, he posts, "Oh God, here it comes," with a rainbow flag.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, this man, I swear, like,
and there's this big thing that people are starting to, like, people that are pretty much anti-Trump or anti-takeover of the government as we know it, because people are saying that once Trump gets into office, there's this Project 25. Project 2025 is what it's called, where they're trying to unwrite a lot of history. Mm-hmm. They're trying to dismantle the education system, the Department of Education. They're trying to pretty much take all the rights that we respect and agree with away. They're trying to pretty much make it to where it's a democracy. Oh, not a democracy, a dictatorship. Mm-hmm. And to where the president, Trump, or whoever it is that's going to be their support if Trump ends up being taken out of the election pool, can prosecute or incriminate or arrest people that are against him. It's going to be like martial law pretty much in the streets. And we can't have that.
No.
We can't have that. But if y'all don't know about Project 2025, y'all need to look it up. Because there's a lot being talked about that. And that's just the surface of what Project 2025 is. It's so much deeper than that you will start reading or watching the videos about what it is. And it'll freak you out. It'll really make you like, yo, I need to really start looking at moving to another country.
Yeah, I mean, like, and another thing too that don't make sense about him being a felon and being a president is he can pardon himself.
Facts, and not just that, but if he becomes president again, do you know? No. Let me go back. Let me rewind that. Since he's been convicted of those 34 guilty felonies, why is he not arrested? Why is he not behind bars?
They said that his
He's at a flight
sentencing
risk.
his sentencing is in September.
But no, because what I heard was when I read was it's July the 11th.
Oh,
His sentencing hearing for that case.
oh,
And that's a lot of what Donald Jr. is pissed off about because it's right before the GOP conference.
yeah.
Um, and my whole thing is he's a flight risk. He get over to Russia, they ain't get him back.
No.
Putin's gonna be like, "Come on over, brother."
Mm-hmm.
And he's got all these classified. He's got this classified knowledge. He's been president of the United States before, so if he runs, he knows all our secrets.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Now, I'm not saying that because I don't know like the full frame of what's going on. Well, all I know is what the media gives me, and the media blows smoke too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you that. So, is he literally and really guilty of all these 34 guilty felony charges that he has? I don't know, but they found him guilty.
Yeah.
They listened to all that evidence. They listened to what the prosecutor said, and
apparently it didn't take no time. So
facts.
They was in and out.
My whole thing was though, like, how can the jury not be biased? Like, how can they not have knowledge or an understanding of Trump and not be pulled in a certain direction? Because they see everything we see.
Yeah.
They understand it just like we understand it.
And that,
so you're gonna have an opinion of your own. Did they really put their opinions aside to make that?
Well, that and my thing
decision?
is it's getting to a point to where either it's like you're for them or you're against them.
Facts.
You know, there's, and like I said, like there's like on the Democratic side, there's a traditional and then a modern Democrat.
Yeah.
You know, kind of deal.
And on the Republican side, it's just Trump.
On the Republican side, you have the Trump factor. You have the Trump rallies. Not rallies, but I can't really think of the name. Then you have another section of it, the Liberty Republicans, which is a more modern Republicans.
Conservative than a mother.
And no, they're liberal Republicans.
Oh.
And well, they consider themselves liberal. And then you have the traditional Republicans, which are the conservatives.
Yeah, it's too much. We need a president that's gonna be for everybody and ready to make America great, not tear America down and then try to rebuild it the way you want it to be.
Yeah, and
I'm not sure that I'm for Biden or for Trump, but I'm gonna get out there and vote for somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm for whoever has the best interest for us.
Right.
And I just can't get behind a party that is so divided in themselves to run a country.
What you said, and we actually gonna end it on that note, and we gonna get back into it next week about a whole nother topic. We don't know if it's gonna be the Trump topic. We don't know if it's gonna be NBA, but we gonna let y'all know when we find the Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your boy Javi, here with my boy D-Lo.
Yo.
And we'll catch you next time.
Peace.